development. In the previous video we have added the components of the room database. Now in this video we will see how we can add the data to room database. So for this you can use the activities or you can use fragments. So I am using the fragments because I have already give the concept of the fragments, how we can add or use fragments. So first of all, close all the files. Now create the new fragments. So right click on this folder, new, and select the fragments. Select the blank fragments. So give the name home fragment. Uncheck this methods and click on the finish. Okay, now again right click on this folder and select the fragments, blank fragments, and give the name of the fragments to add data fragment, and uncheck these methods and click on finish. Now go to the main activity. Okay, now first remove everything from here and then go to design and select here frame layout. Just simply drag it here and add the constraint. Okay, now type the ID. Let's say I type the container. Okay, now go to the main activity.java. Okay, here we need to initialize the fragments. So private fragment manager and again fragment manager, and initialize it in onCreate method. So fragment manager is equal to get support fragment manager. Now here we check the conditions. If find view by id r.id.container is not equal to null, check one more condition. If save instance is not equal to null, then simply return. Otherwise we need to add the fragments. So fragment manager dot begin transactions dot add method, that is now first parameter is container, so r.id.container, where you need to add the fragments. So the second parameter is the object of the new fragment. So in my case home fragment, and the last parameter is false and dot commit sections. I think not here false, that is tag, that is null. I think that's it. Okay, now run the application first. Here you can see our blank fragment is successfully added to the container. So now go to the home fragment and add 4 buttons. So go to the home fragments, just go to the text, and first remove everything from here and select the frame layout to constraint layout. That's it. Now go to the design and select the 4 buttons. And adjust the size. Okay, now first duplicate 4 times Okay, now give the ID, that is add, and the second one is view, and the last one is, let's say, update, and the last one is, let's say, delete. Now give the text to everyone. So let's say first one is add data, select the second one and type name view data. Now select the third one, update data, and the last one is delete data. That's it. Now go to the home fragment and define all the buttons. So private button. So first button is add btn add, the second button is btn view, and the second last button is btn update, and the last one is btn delete. Now initialize it in onCreate method. So just remove this return because we need a object of this inflator layout. So now here return it, just type view, that's it. Now initialize one by one. Btn add is equal to view dot find view by id r dot id dot, let's say, add, and just copy 4 times, and now this time btn view, and again type here view. Now here btn update, and again here update. Now again here delete, and type here delete. That's it. Now here we need to add the click listener, because when we click on this button first, it will redirect to the add fragment. So implement the click listener. So go to the fragments and type here implement and define the method on click listener. That's it. Now add the method or implement method inside the home fragment, and first type here btn add dot set on click listener and type context. Now here we need to open the next fragment. So main activity dot fragment manager. So first we need to define the fragment static. So here we need to define the static. That's it. Now go to the home fragment and here type fragment. You can see here no object is accessible. So dot begin transaction dot replace. Here you need to define three parameters. So first parameter is container r.id.container, and the second parameter is the object of the next. So new add data fragment, and the last parameter is null, and at the end you need to add back to stack, and here you need to pass null and apply the method commit. That's it. Now when we click on that button, it will redirect to the home fragment. So let's try it. Okay, you can see here home fragment is successfully added to the container, and our buttons are showing on this home fragment. So when I click on this add data button, it will redirect to the add data fragment. So just click on this. You can see add data fragment is open. Now we need to design the add data fragment. Go to the text. First remove everything from here and just change the frame layout to constraint layout. And go to design. Here we need 3 inputs. Why we need 3 inputs? Because in person class we define only 3 attributes. You can see ID, name and email. So define 3 attributes. So type here add text and select the first input field. Go to the blueprint and add the constraint. Now just duplicate it 3 times. Okay. Now add a button for saving the data. Okay. Now give the ID. Let's say I type input ID and the second one is input name and the last one is input email. Now here we need to define the button. Let's say I type button save and change the hint of every attribute. So type here hint, just type here enter ID and ID and remove the text, that will be later, and enter name and again enter email. Now select the button and here we need no need of adding the hint, so select the text. So type here just simply say, that's it. Now first remove the text from first input and then second input and then last one, because we have already added the hint. Now go to design. You can see it look like this. Now go to the activity and define all the input and button. So private edit text, so input ID, input name, input email, and again define the button. So type here button, so begin save. Now define it in on create view. So first remove this return and type here view and create the object view, and now return it at the bottom. So return view. Now initialize it one by one. First input ID is equal to view dot find view by ID r dot id dot input ID. Now duplicate it 4 times. Now first type here input name and again type here input email and type here ptn save. Now here type here input name and again type here input email and the final one is ptn save. That's it. Our input fields and button are initialized. Now when we click on the btn save, the data will be saved in. So btn save dot set on click listener, new on click listener. Okay, here we need to get the value from this input field. So first we need to get the value from input field. So first create the variable is int. So int id is equal to first integer dot parse int, and here we need to get the id from this input field. So input id dot get text dot toStrings. That's it. And again create the variable string, let's say name, and we need to get the name from input field name, and get text dot toString. That's it. Or duplicate it and type here email, and again input email. Okay, now here we need to call the entity class. So first create the objects of the entity class. So person is equal to new person. Now by using this object person, we need to set the value to room database. So first person dot set id, so pass the id to this method. That's it. And again person dot set name, so pass the name, and again for person dot set email and pass the email. Okay, now first we need to access the room database class in main activity. So go to main activity, and here we need to define that class. So room database class, and again room database class. Now here room database class equal to room dot builder. So here first parameter is context, so pass the get application context, and the second parameter is the database class, that should be same. So room database class dot class, and the second parameter is db name. So I type, let's say any type my db, and the last parameter is, so here we need to add one more thing. Here we need to call the method allow main thread queries, because it is not allowed in main thread queries. So just add this method here and put a semicolon here. Now go to the fragment, add fragment, and here add the main activity dot, again we need to initialize it as a static. So static, that's it. Now go to the add fragment, and here we need to room database dot, here we need to call the person data access subject, and again call the add person. Here we need to pass the object of the person class. So that's it. Now here we need to call the toast message, because we need to confirm either the data is successful or not. So create the toast message dot make test, its input id dot set text empty. So again for input name and again for input email. That's it. Now run the application. Okay, our application is successfully running. Here is the home fragment where we show 4 buttons, and when I click on this add data button, it will redirect to the add data fragment, and here we need to find the ID. Let's say I type 4444 and here type the name. Let's say I type my name, let's say Shafaqat, and I type the email address, let's say 1234@gmail.com, and just simply click on the save button. You can see data successfully saved and input fields are empty. In the next video we will see how we can fetch that data and show in RecyclerView. So see you in next video.